Welcome to the next session of Programming for Problem Solving. The topic of the day is storage classes. Before we jump to the topic storage classes, let me introduce you to the concept of local and global variables. Local variable is one which is declared inside any function or block within a function of a program, whereas a global variable is one which is declared outside all the functions of a program. Now let's have a look at the example code that has been given at the bottom of this slide. This is a snapshot of a program. Here you can see that the main function starts from here, and the definition of the main function has been highlighted right now. Now this variable has been declared outside the main function. There is only one function in this program, and this variable is declared outside the main function, which means outside all the functions. So this is called the global variable. A global variable can be accessed from within any function because it is not local to any function, it is global. Now let's have a look at the main function. The boundaries of the main function or the body of the main function is highlighted here. So it starts from the curly braces and ends here. Now there is another block of statements that has been created inside the main function. As you can see, it has been highlighted here. Now int local I variable has been created inside the main function, and hence it is local to the main function. That means local to the total definition of the main function. Whereas the int very local I variable has been declared inside this block only. So that means this very local I variable is local to this block only. Once the program is executing outside the block, then it will not be accessible. Whereas the int local I will be accessible if you are in the main function. Whereas the global variable will be accessible throughout the program, irrespective of which function you are working on. So I hope the difference between the local and the global variable is clear. In this case, I is a global variable because it is declared outside all the functions. Local I is local to the main function, whereas very local I is local to the block of curly braces in which it has been declared. Now let's move to what are storage classes. A storage class is used to define the scope and lifetime of a variables in C program. So we use the storage classes when we declare variables in a C program. Why we use storage class? We use the storage class to define the scope and the lifetime of the variable. Scope means from where we can access those variables, and lifetime means when those variables are created and when those variables are destroyed. How many times these variables are created and how many times these variables are destroyed. Do they retain their previous value or not when they are created and destroyed multiple times? So all these concepts have been discussed in the storage classes, and we will see one by one how many storage classes we have. The four types of storage classes that we have in C are automatic storage class, static storage class, external storage class, and register storage class. By default, the storage class used in C is automatic. If you create a variable without defining the storage class of the same, then those variables are created using the automatic storage class. If you explicitly want to tell that you want to create a variable with auto storage class, then you can use the keyword auto. So auto means the automatic storage class. If you want to create a variable a which is of integer data type and is of automatic storage class, uses automatic storage class, then following is the example, the one that I am highlighting right now. Auto int a, it creates an integer variable a with the automatic storage class. What are the various features of the automatic storage class? It is stored in the main memory. By default, if you do not initialize an automatic variable, it is initialized with a garbage value, means any garbage value that is there in the memory. Like in our example also, we have not initialized this variable. We can initialize an automatic variable by auto int a is equals to 10. And if you do not initialize it, it will contain the garbage value. Next we have is the life. Lifetime of the variable is until the control remains in the block where it is defined. If it is a local variable inside any function, then the life of that variable is for the time the program is executing in that function. Once the execution of the function is over, the variable is destroyed. Scope is also the same, local to the block or the function in which it has been created. So I hope the main features of the automatic storage class are clear to you. Here you can see a program that two variables have been declared using the auto storage class. One has been declared inside the main function within the boundaries of the main function. The scope of this variable a is the scope of the main function, whereas the auto int that has been declared here has a scope of only this block. So when you print a inside the small block, then it will print 20, the value of the a which has been declared inside the block. And when you print the value of a here, then it will print 10 of the local variable which has been declared inside the main function. So let's now have a look into the other storage classes. A register storage class. Now the only difference between the automatic storage class and the register storage class is where the memory is allocated. The memory allocated to the variables that are created using the register storage class is in the CPU registers. We declare variable with the register storage class when we want that they should be directly stored in the CPU registers for faster access. The maximum size can be of 1 word. It is not necessary that all the variables that are created using the register storage class are stored in the registers. It only depends upon the availability. So how you can create a variable with a register storage class? You simply need to use the register keyword before the declaration of the variable. So let's have a look at a program here. As you can see, two variables like the previous one have been created. So the only difference between this program and the previous program is that the memory location is different. These variables will be stored in the register memory, whereas the variables declared using the automatic keyword were stored in the main memory. This is very important. Static storage classes are very important if you are using the concept of user-defined functions. A static storage class can be created using the static keyword. The variables are stored in the main memory. Now, if you do not initialize the variables that are declared using the static storage class, the default value of that variable will be 0. And moreover, these variables are only initialized once. If these variables get destroyed and are recreated again, the variables will not be initialized again. They will retain their previous values. What is the lifetime? It depends upon the functions call and the program. So basically, once a static variable has been created, it will stay in memory till the program is in execution. Scope, these can only be accessed inside the functions or the blocks in which they have been created. Now let's have a look at a program. This is very important program. Please focus on the output for a better understanding of what are static storage classes. So here you can see that we have defined a prototype, a function named increment small incre. It does not return any value and no arguments are passed to the function. Now within the definition of the main function, the incre function has been called twice. So we are going to execute the incre function twice. So this is the definition of the ICRE function. In this we have created two variables. One is SIM variable, simple variable, and one is STA variable, which is a static variable. Both of these variables have been initialized with the value 1. So what we display is the value of the automatic variable and the value of the static variable. After displaying the value of the static variable and normal variable, simple variable, we have incremented the value of both these variables by 1. Now let's have a look at the output, how these values will pan out when we execute the program. Now when we call the incre function for the first time, what will happen is that the simple variable, which is a non-static variable, will be created and it will be initialized with the value 1. Similarly, the static variable STA VAR will also be created and it will also be initialized to the value 1. When you display the value of both these variables, the value displayed on the screen will be 1. After that, the value of both these variables have been incremented by 1. And then the execution of the program finishes. When the execution of the program finishes, what will happen is that the static variable will not get destroyed because it will stay in the memory till the program is in execution, but the simple variable will get destroyed. So, and hence there is no simple variable in the memory. When the incre function is called again, then the simple variable will be recreated because it was destroyed when the execution of it was finished last time, and it will be initialized with value 1. But the static variable will not be created or initialized because it is still in the memory and it retains its previous value. Now, when we display the value of both the automatic and the static variable, that is simple variable and static variable, the output this time will be 1 and 1. And after that, the value of both the variables will be incremented by 1. So simple variable will become 2 and the static variable will become 3. Now, after the execution of the function, the simple variable will be destroyed once again. And if you call the increment function for the third time, then the simple variable will be created again and it will be initialized with 1, whereas the static variable will retain its previous value. So this is the difference between a simple automatic variable and a static variable. Static variable once created stays in the memory till the program is in execution and it also retains its previous value. So now we will have a look at the last storage class, which is called the external storage class. The external storage class is used only when you use multiple source codes or multiple files within the same project. For example, if you are working on a project named college, and you have multiple source code files, multiple C files within the same program, then you can use an external storage class. Now, what is an external storage class? A variable defined using the external storage class informs the compiler that this variable has been defined in some other file. So let's have a look at the definition of what is an external storage class. Extern is used to give a reference of a global variable. Please understand that extern can only be used with a global variable. So note this down. Extern is used to give a reference of a global variable that is visible to all the program files. So this variable will not just be visible to all the functions in the same program, but it will be visible to all the program files within that project. Extern variable is never initialized. Why it is never initialized? Because it has been defined in some other file. One is that the external variable is visible to all the programs, and the second is the external variable is not initialized. It is not initialized because it has already been defined in some other file. So let's have a look at the program of the external storage class to have a better understanding of it. So what are the various features of the external storage class? It can be created using the extern keyword. It is stored in the main memory. The default value is 0. Lifetime is until the execution of the program is there, and scope is that it is global to the program. So that means it is visible in all the programs within the same project. Now here you can see we have created two files. One is called main.c and the other one is called original.c. They both belong to the same project. So in the original.c, first of all, we will look at the code of original.c. It includes only two statements. One is it makes use of the stdio.h and a global variable I whose value is 48. That is it. Nothing else in this snapshot of the program. The original.c actually includes only one executable statement, and that is a global variable I is equal to 48. What you can mention here is that int is missing, so it can be int I is equals to 48. Now what is there in the main C? Main C actually creates, uses the keyword extern I. It could have been extern int I. You cannot initialize it. And why we have created the extern keyword here? Because we want to inform the compiler that this I variable has been defined in some other file. Where it has been defined? It has been defined inside the original.c. So extern int I, it will see if any other file includes this I variable, and it will find this variable in original.c. What is the value of the I in that particular file? It is 48. And when you print the value of the external integer I, it will print 48. Just see that you did not assign any value 48 to I in this variable. So from where did this 48 value come? This 48 value actually comes from the original.c program. So this is the use of external storage class program. So the extern keyword is used to refer to certain variables which have been defined in some other file. For example, extern I used in the main.c, the I variable has been defined in the original.c file. So you use the extern storage class only when you are working on multiple files within the same project. I hope the concept of storage classes is clear to you, and it is also clear that which storage class you must use depending upon the requirement. Thank you very much.